What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 31 of Get Bucked. I'm your host, Ryan, and I get to be joined by Jackson Muniz as always. Jackson, what's going on?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good. It's been a while since we've done one of these episodes. Looking at close to a month. It was certainly pre-derby. We got caught up in everything. We were doing just shows all around the place. So we're back today, though, and we're going to stick with Churchill. We're going to do the late pick 5 this Saturday at Churchill Downs. What were your thoughts on the sequence? And then, how's your week been going? You opened this up by saying I should have bet Churchill Downs. So I'd like you to have the floor to explain yourself, and then we can get on into it.
Well, when I opened my Twin Spires account on Monday, I had some bonus money from the weekend and $100 in there, and I've been playing with that in all these contests for the last 3 days. It's been a lot of fun, and just keeping it rolling. Haven't lost it yet. Won a seat today. Still have some money left over. So I saw an Churchill Downs contest. I'm like, you know what? Our good friend Matt Miller's already out. A bunch of other people are already out. This could be a chance to play it. But I didn't love anything. I decided to pass because Noah is playing tomorrow in his first ever contest, and I decided I got to go play in that one and beat him. So we're gonna wait for Churchill tomorrow.
You do have to beat him in the Churchill one tomorrow.
As far as the Churchill card on Saturday, it's pretty good. I mean, late pick 5 at least. I thought it was, we were covering 5 races. All 5 of them looked pretty open. 4 out of the 5, I guess you could say, look pretty wide open. It should be pretty good. So yeah,
should be a fun sequence. Week's been going well. It's hot as shit in this house right now, so I decided to sit over standing for today's show because it's a million degrees in this room.
By the way, 4-1 at Churchill Downs plays just as well as 4-1 at Churchill Downs. So there's also that.
That's true. There's 8-5 all over the place. Oh boy. Well, Matt Miller's in the chat, and he heard Noah's playing, so he's bringing the cavalry. You mentioned Matt Miller already out of the Churchill Downs one. That's kind of the equivalent of the 2-5 favorite stumbling out of the gate. So if that's ever the case, and obviously that's nothing but love because that means maybe that gives you a leg up on everyone else. Henry Stewart's in the chat. What's up, Henry? Good to see you in here. And Matt Miller with the other 5 comments in here. Yeah, we did have a bit of a slow start to the show. When I said 4 p.m. Pacific time, I meant like middle of the Pacific Ocean, so like an hour time zone out, towards Hawaii. So my bad on the time. But hey, better late than never. We'll get on into it now. Let me take that comment down. Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Would hate if you got bucked. That's going to be tough for anybody. So, all right, we'll jump into it. It's race. This is not the right race. We're starting with race number 7.
Yep.
There we go. All right, race number 7 at Churchill Downs. Picks are up on the screen. I went 5-8-3. Jackson went 10-8-9. We're going 7 furlongs. Open maiden $30,000 claimers. Jackson, what'd you like here? You went with the number 10. We don't have post positions or odds, but I believe the number 10 is overproof for Steve Asmussen and Keith.
Yeah, I'm so glad you finally stopped copying me. I guess we finally found our track where that doesn't happen. It's Churchill Downs, so we'll have to cover this track more often.
The slander's crazy.
All these other places, I don't think you handicap. You just see what I'm picking and pick the same horses.
My picks have been in before you on the past 6 shows, I believe.
Yeah,
so I
just not true. First of all, I really like the 12 wins, so I can sing the Dua Lipa song if she finds a winner circle. But if she doesn't, I'm cheering for number 10. Overproof. I love that song. It's a great song.
It's a great song.
I do like a 10 overproof in this spot. I like, his first 3 starts they're perfectly fine. They all came against better horses, ran against a couple toughies in debut, Chasing Liberty as a stakes winner. Then the race 2 back at Turfway, the comeback race, tried to close into a slow pace. And I thought he ran, perfectly fine in that spot too. He did make up some ground, pass a few horses, got a decent number. Then last time pitched him just probably a little too high. That was against straight maiden special weights, going a mile, had the rail, just no choice but to send, and just didn't work out. But again, the number came back okay. Third start off the bench, I think we'll see some improvement. Now he's a much better post towards the outside. He's going to get back to that stalking trip that I think he probably prefers. I just envision him getting a good trip from out here. I think he's going to have, get rolling out of there, get close enough, get the leaders within his sights, and we'll see if he's good enough in the stretch. He does need to take a step forward, but I do think he has it in him. He's basically paired up with Spire Tops, my favorite ankle in all of racing, and if he does, he's going to be pretty tough. And I think he'll be a decent price too. I don't think he'll be one of the favorites.
I don't think, excuse me, I don't think so either. He should be a decent price, and I like it on the drop down to the lowest level yet. Number 8, Tis My Hero, is a horse that we both have in second, I believe. Again, I think this one's probably going to be your favorite just based on those 2 speed figures to, start this year off the 2-year layoff, or off the double line layoff, I should say. Yeah, I thought this one made a decent amount of sense cutting back. I think this one's better as a sprinter. Similar to you, I think the stalking trip is kind of what this one prefers. Last time out, kind of went to the lead, but didn't seem to have much late, where in the past he's kind of done better with a few targets in front of him. So I like this one cutting back, obviously dropping down to his lowest level yet. Do you think this one's going to be the favorite? And what were your thoughts on this runner?
I think it's either Tis My Hero or the number 9. Abby Fede. I don't know how you say it. Both have similar numbers, both dropping out of main special weight company. So I think it's probably one of those two. Those are the two to beat. Those are the two I used in second and third because I just think they're pretty logical. And outside of the price horse and the 10, I didn't love anything else in here. That's why I have those two shorter prices in second and third. But mostly going to be using just the 10, honestly.
Yeah, the number 9, Abby Fade, certainly makes a little bit of sense. Lost to Shangri-La Road last time out, now drops in for $30,000. So certainly a huge drop in class to Shangri-La Road is a talented looking horse. My top pick, I ended up going with the number 5, P D'Oro. This one coming off a layoff for Greg Foley. Greg Foley's been off to a really hot start to the meet. The workouts have looked pretty good. I like the spacing between them. Obviously, a little bit of a cause for pause with the some of the breaks as you go farther back, but at least is strung a couple together. He's good off this sort of a break. Drops in for 30. That's given bit of a red flag. They paid $300,000. This is only this horse's fourth start. They've had trouble keeping this one healthy, but I do think that this one could take a step up now as a 4-year-old facing a lot of 3-year-olds in this field. I expect to get a decent price on this runner, so I'll hope for a bit of chaos to start us off here. The Axeman Luan Machado is only going to that first finish line on Saturday, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And I wanted to give this one a shot. Any thoughts on this runner before we go to the number 9?
No, it'll be a square price. The work tab concerns me along with the breaks and the layoff lines, but his races are fun.
Yeah, his races fit. The number 9, Abby Fade, you kind of spoke about a little bit, but anything else to add on this one?
Yeah, I guess I should. This horse was 99 to 1 last time, 110 to 1, so maybe he won't take as much money as I think. Maybe the 8 will be favorite in this one, but we already covered him pretty good, I think.
Yeah, but when you go back to the debut at Ellis, this runner was a little over 3 to 1. So 3 to 1 to 110 to 1, maybe back down to the 5 to 6 to 1 range. It's certainly possible. Last one we'll talk about.
6 to 1, he might be my top pick because I do think he's one of the likelier winners of this race.
Very fair. One I think has a good shot at it is the number 3, Raising Cane for Keith DeSormo. Axel Concepcion in the saddle. This one dropping down to also the lowest level of this one's career. Was chasing a slow pace behind Mississippi Man last time out at the fairgrounds. I like this runner at the 6 furlong distance. I think Blinkers On is going to help focus this one up. Again, the drop down in class is pretty significant. Gervin, pretty good sprinters. So I just like that they're sticking to the 6 furlong level. I don't think he's very efficient at 2 turns. This is his 2 best speed figures have come going the 6 furlong. So I want to see him go here. Hopefully they get a little bit more pace, or if Axel is more aggressive, maybe we see this one, a little bit closer to the lead. As he has seemed a little bit one-paced in his races, I'm wondering maybe if they can get a little bit more speed out of him. So I want to give the 3 Raising Cane a look. Go ahead.
No, just if you're done, I'll say something. Yeah. Just speaking of speed, there's really not a burner in this field. There's not a true speed horse. I don't think it's maybe the 7, if I'm not mistaken. Venique might be the speed, but even he's not that quick. And again, let's shout out Noah real quick. This was the show bet group. This was the show group parlay bet that Noah picked, and he ran dead last at 4 to 1. So
yeah, Noah was really killed it on that one.
Gets away from a rail. He might be the speed of the speed. Not for me on the win end, but just the one that's going to affect the pace for sure. Because I don't know who else is going to go.
JD in the chat. So this is the card where we all make the money back that we lost last Saturday. Yeah, that's right, JD. This is where we come out swinging. We're going to take Churchill for all their money, because they took a fair amount of ours.
You got to turn all those seconds into wins.
That's right.
Brutal on Saturday.
Yeah, if you play for getting second place, Jackson is the king right now. So that was race number 7.
Vanishing, Mercante, Journalism. Whoever was the last race that I decided to bet for some reason.
I also decided to bet that one. Last time for race number 7, I went 5-8-3. Jackson went 10-8-9. Race number 8, we're going a mile and an eighth on the turf. This one, you texted a little bit before, and I agree. There are about 4 horses you could just immediately, pretty much toss from this field. But I went 3-5-11. Jackson went 5-9-10.
That was race 9. But yeah,
that was race 9. You are correct. But either way, we'll start with the number 5, who's going to be St. Armand's Key for Joe Sharp, winner of 2 straight. What'd you like about this one?
Yeah, kind of similar to last race where I just didn't see a whole lot of speed or even horses that kind of want to be close. This seems like a horse that's just going to get a really good trip in this spot. He's very tactical, can sit just off of it, but he also has a pretty good finish. So I think he's going to get the run of the race in this spot. Proven over this racetrack, ran a huge race at Churchill last year, kind of a similar. They went really fast, made the first movement in the pace, and held on for third. Found a couple of decent horses, and he's taken that step forward from 3 to 4 that you want to see. I mean, those last 2 starts are pretty significant improvements. 115 on the time form is around a 95 buyer conversion. I trust time form a little bit more for the turf races, excuse me. And again, I just think he's going to get the right kind of trip. And a lot of these horses want to come from way off of it. I just envision him sitting 3rd or 4th, that pocket trip, getting the jump on the deeper closers that are going to have a lot to do, trying to close into a slow pace. And I view him as a pretty likely winner of this one. He's going to be my best bet of the sequence, and I hope I get around 3 to 1 on this horse. I'd be pretty happy with that.
That'd be nice, and you certainly have a chance. JD said second. Man, you did way better than I did. If you have a win bet, though, and you finish second or dead last, you get the same amount of money. So at the end of the day, I guess it doesn't really matter. My top pick, though, is the number 3, Corruption, who's almost surely going to be the favorite in this race. Dropping out of 2.5-mile races, but was forward in both of those. So I'm not too concerned about this one having too much work to do. I like the just steady improvement. Has never run a race that's worse than the one before, whether that's time form or buyer. So comes in here. Obviously, the cutback's pretty significant. Could see this one, farther back, like in his race 3 back. But going the 1 1/8, I think it's going to be fine for him. Obviously, the 5 St. Armand's Key I gave a look to as well, having this one in second. I noticed this one isn't in your top 3, Jackson. What didn't you like about this runner?
I don't love the cutback from 1.5 to what is this, a mile or mile 16th?
1 1/8.
1 1/8. Yeah, it's just not a huge fan of that. He's ran perfectly fine in those spots, don't get me wrong. But between that, this is a very different course from Gulfstream, obviously. Just some things I didn't love, and I do agree with you. I think he's be one of the shorter prices in this race. So at a short price, I try to beat him. If he's going to be 8 or 9 to 1, though, I think you definitely need to use him.
Without a doubt. Ever since adding blinkers, he's kind of become a different animal, rattling off 3 straight wins and then followed by a second by a neck to Farbridge, who obviously has turned into one of the top kind of turf horses in this division. So, I went with the number 3 Corruption, but again, gave a big look to the 5 St. Armand's Key. Another one we'll talk about is the number 10, which is to this one's inside. I'm actually going to let you pronounce this one, but this is your 3rd choice in the race.
Zverev.
Yep, bless you.
We'll go with that.
Yep.
Just my favorite angle. Cherie is second off the bench because she's not great first time out. She's not great first off the bench. You usually want to get him second time out. And this horse ran okay last time at Turfway. Just it did look like a prep, even though he took a lot of money in there. I think we'll see a nice step forward for today's race. This is another one that's proven over this turf course. He ran pretty well here last year in his couple starts at Churchill Downs. Another one that he is going to be one that's going to need some help with the pace because it's not that tactical. But you look at some of the competition he faced last year in those turf races. I mean, West Hollywood was a good winner at Saratoga. Army Officer, I believe, won at Saratoga too. This was a horse that took a lot of money in the Grade 2 Hall of Fame and the Virginia Derby. He was, one of the logical contenders in those spots. So if he takes that step forward again, we talked about from 3 to 4, which we haven't seen yet, but we're projecting that he might if the price is right. But if he does, he can be pretty dangerous in the spot. The one downside I had was with him and the horse I'm also going to talk about is this is Brian Hernandez Jr.'s second call in this race, which was a little concerning to me. He would rather ride a horse that's stuck on the AE. Not a huge concern, but it is worth mentioning at least.
Yeah, certainly worth mentioning. The horse that he is named to ride is wow, there's a lot of AEs. Tough little nut for Chris Block. Yeah. That's understandable though. He's been the regular rider for the last 3, so I certainly get it. But I also get where you're coming from, or maybe that's some cause for pause. But he does love to ride for Cherie. Other one that you have on your ticket is the 10 Quattrocento for Fausto Gutierrez. Yeah,
just one. I liked him a lot last time on the stretch out, and he didn't do much running at all. Maybe he didn't like the pace being so slow. He was a little rank, so sometimes that just indicates they want to cut back, which he is getting today. The race 2 back, it was so impressive, and he beat a decent field that day. I want to give him another chance because he looked so damn good in that race at Tampa Bay Downs. So want to give him another shot. And I do think he's one of those that will also get a pretty good trip. Won't be too far off the pace and hopefully get first run on those deeper closers. But again, another one where Vincent Cheminade is named on the AE. So that was another downside, I guess, of this horse, you could say.
Yeah, that's the number 9. Forgot the name already, Quattrocento. My third choice in this race was the 11 English Channel, who won last time out at Keeneland. I like this horse 2 back with Loveberry aboard at Fairgrounds. Did not bet him back. Had him as a B on my ticket at Keeneland. There was not able to piece this one together. Ben Curtis, another great ride. I don't see him on the card unless I missed him somewhere, but I didn't see Ben Curtis riding. Obviously, he just had a huge weekend over Derby weekend with riding second with Drexel Hill in the Kentucky Oaks, and then winning on Think Big, the Godolphin Turf Sprint winner. So English Tunnel, I mean, since getting to these 2 turns and breaking his maiden 2 back, he's really looked really professional in those 2 wins. So I didn't want to leave him off my ticket. I think we'll still get a fair price, maybe 5-ish to 1. I'm hoping for. I do think the 3 Corruption is going to take a lot of money. I don't think the 3 is a cinch by any means. I know your best bet is the number 5, St. Armand's Key, but I feel like I could go 3, 5, 11 in horizontal sequences and feel pretty confident that I have the winner amongst them. So I like English Channel, just the way he's been able to finish off those races, string some wins together, and he's just kind of slowly progressing up the class ladder from Wayne Catalano, which I like to see. Just that steady progression. They're not throwing him into waters too deep. Obviously, the margin of victory went down to about 3/4 of a length, and he had a really good trip last time. So maybe this is a step too deep, and maybe he'll need a start or 2 at this level. But I'm willing to give him a shot with the hot hand. He's paired up those buyer speed figures, which you like to see if you're Jackson or anybody smart. So English Channel, I think, can take a step forward. Declan Cannon also rides pretty well. So I went 3, 5, 11. Jackson went 5, 9, 10 in race number 8. Race number 9 is the race with a few auto tosses. As I get back to being used to speaking, and Jackson copied my picks on this one for sure. I went 5, 1, 8. Jackson went 5, 8, 1. We're going a mile and 3/16 for first level allowance runners, 3-year-olds and upward. Your likely favorite's going to be the number 5 Horizonte, Edgar Morales, Paul McGee. Go ahead and take it away on this gelding from Union Regs.
Yeah, another race where there's not a whole lot of speed, and it's kind of 3 races in a row, not a lot of speed, so it's kind of interesting. But he does seem like the now horse, just going in the right direction, improving with every single start. The maiden score 2 back was pretty good. I know he was one of the logicals in there, but he's the only horse that closed in that race. They were the second, third place finishers were 1-2 around the whole way. They were well clear of the rest. So good performance there. I thought he ran well. Then last time, no shame in running second to Just a Touch. I know he wasn't that close, but Just a Touch is probably headed to the Met Mile, graded stakes horse for sure. And he was well clear of the rest. He did what he was supposed to do. He's 3.5 lengths clear of the rest of the field. So he was clearly the second best horse in that race. And we're going to lose it, aren't we? That's okay. He just feels like the horse is going the right direction. I think he will appreciate the stretch out. He's probably going to find himself much closer to the pace too, just 1, because of the stretch out, and 2, because of the lack of the pace in here. So I envision him getting a pretty good trip in here. If he does take another step forward, he'll be very tough. And being by Union Rags, you got to think he'll like the added ground.
Yeah, long on the dirt is certainly what's going to be best for this runner. I agree. Running second to Just a Touch, there's no Just a Touches even close in this field, or any common runners in this field that are up to that caliber. And he ran second, given it was maybe by a country mile, as the internet seems to really be losing it here. But this horse has been progressing really steadily. Took a little bit of time off, has had about 2 months, but it's possible that last race took a lot out of him. Obviously, Fairgrounds is pretty demanding at times, and running behind a runner like that, you can tell he was trying throughout the duration of the race. But I want to give this one another shot too. This one is going to be, I believe, a key in my best bet as we go on a little bit later. Yes, it is. So
he could be the shortest price of this whole sequence very easily.
Most likely, yeah. I think so. And
scratches, which
deservedly so as well, because again, I think his running lines are just a lot stronger than the rest of these. We'll go to number 8, McElroy. Obviously, he's got to be the name play after the Masters win. But what'd you like about this one? And I'll go after you as we both pick this horse in the top 3. Yeah,
I just know it's a horse they're really high on. I remember reading an article about it, I think before the last race, maybe even the debut. I know they're very high on this horse, and he did the job. He ran really well last time. He got a setup. He did what he was supposed to do, which was run away from that field 1 by 2. Dirt's obviously a big question mark. I don't really know where he's entered on Friday. Maybe I didn't really look, but don't know what the plan is for that. but he's just one, again, it has a lot of upside in a field that I didn't really see a whole lot of upside. A lot of question marks for the horses that I've already ran, so definitely makes some sense in here. Definitely needs to improve. He's significantly slower right now than the 5, but if he does take that step forward, he could make some noise in here.
Yeah, he can factor in the tries without a doubt. I'm with you. The switch to dirt has to be that question has to be answered. Certainly got the pace set up last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he won really nicely. He did everything he was supposed to do. So at the end of the day, you gotta at least give him credit. And off his debut performance, the first and second place finishers both came out to win, and then McElroy obviously completed the trifecta, coming back out to win next time. Number 1, Gun Party, is the horse that you and I have second and third respectively. I'll start with this one. Obviously, just a well-respected horse. Has been trying at this level for a few times now at Oaklawn Park. And again, comes from off the pace. Just the other logical horse that I kind of sucked up to. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't love him as a win contender, but if I were to play any verticals, he'd be one that I would key underneath. $1.7 million for the purchase too. So he clearly hasn't lived up to that. Yeah,
he's consistent at least. We'll give him that. And his pedigree says he's supposed to get this distance. He's supposed to like it. I don't know if he's necessarily shown that in his longer races. He hasn't really necessarily run better, but this is his furthest race of his career. So if he's ever going to show it, it's today. And he's certainly found a pretty soft field, I should say. I mean, there's not a whole lot in here.
Worth noting, Jose Ortiz is the kind of like the one main jockey that's out here at Churchill for Saturday. So it could be a bet Jose Ortiz and, don't worry about the rest type of a situation with some of the live mounts he has. And it's very possible we see Gun Party a little more forward now on the further stretch out in distance. I know this one doesn't have a ton of speed, but certainly, maybe out of the one hole with some hustling out of there by Jose, maybe he finds himself a little bit closer and that makes him a bit more of a threat. But that's race number 9. I went 5-1-8. Jackson went 5-8-1. Pretty similar there. We were just talking about how there's not much speed. Race number 10 has plenty of it. We're going 5.5 on the turf. Grade 3 Mamzelle Stakes. Your favorite has got to be, let me throw our picks up first. Race number 10, I went 14-9-8. Jackson went 4-9-12. Your favorite is going to be the number 9, as I've gone past it quite a few times now. She's So Spicy, I would imagine, is going to get morning line favoritism off that nice win at Keeneland. Jackson, I doubted this horse last time that she would want to go with the 5 furlongs at Gulfstream Park to the 5.5 at Keeneland, which is obviously a big step up and a big change in distance, even though it might only seem like half a furlong. I think those two play very, very differently. But she passed that test with seemingly flying colors, beating a few other common rivals in here. You and I both picked this horse in second. So why did you end up trying to beat her here?
Clearly the one to beat. Ran really well last time, setting a fast pace. I think she'll be shorter than the 2-1 she was last time. I think she's going to be pretty short in this race. And I wanted to try to beat her at that price, depending on what the price is of my 4, who's my top pick. Again, we're doing this before the morning line comes out. But if the 4 is a lot shorter than I'm anticipating, then I'll probably just revert back to the She's So Spicy.
Yeah, your 4 is Kilwin, so I'll let you talk about this one, your top pick in here.
Yeah, just one coming out of the same race where she took, I think she was like 8 or 10-1 more in line that day, and she was just taking so much money. It was kind of eye-opening for sure. And she didn't run great. I mean, she didn't really break. Then she tried to move up on the turn into the fast pace, while it was super wide the whole way, and just never really ran that well. But her races as a tour were pretty good. I loved every single one of those races. She ran really well, especially the Breeders' Cup. She ran huge in the Breeders' Cup on that fast pace. So you would think this cutback would be good for her. Just much better post today. Going from the outside post 12 to post 4, she should save a lot of ground. We know she can settle on the inside. She can pass horses. And I think instead of being 3-2 or whatever she was, 5-2 last time, she's going to be at least double that, I would have to think. So I think she'll get a better trip. She should move forward second on the bench, and I'm going to use her if she's higher than 4-1, 9-2-ish.
I like that pick. Was way wide last time. 4-5 path and the 8 path, as you can see in the notes, and that still might be a little bit generous. So expect the turf to be pretty good listed as well. I assume they're going to stay on for this. The rain doesn't look like it's going to be too crazy this weekend, and this is a graded stakes race. But they are getting some rain this week in the next day or two. So, I wouldn't say that it's going to be firm ground, but I think she can clearly handle it. So that's the number 4, Kilwin. I went with my top pick to the number 4 as I go way past it. Meet Governor. To the far outside, Rafael Bejarano takes the call. This one was also in the same race in the Limestone at Keeneland last time out, was also drawn in the 11 path, was also very wide, turning for home, ran on really well, kind of ran I looked at the 4, I looked at Kilwin as well. I just didn't love that trip, but obviously she was compromised at the start, so I just ended up going with the other runner that comes out of there that also had a wide trip. She didn't draw any better here. She actually threw 3 posts farther to the outside. I'm just hoping that there does seem to be a lot more speed in this race. Last time in the Limestone, She's So Spicy certainly looked like she could get loose, and that's kind of what ended up happening. I think this race has a lot more speed to her inside. I think she has a decent amount of speed. I think it's going to be pretty strung out early. I'm hoping someone goes with She's So Spicy, or else, she might just run off the screen and win again. Not run off the screen, but she might win again. But I'm thinking it's going to be a little more strung out. I'm thinking Me Governor might be able to tuck into the 2, maybe the 3 path. And Bejarano is pretty underrated as a turf sprint rider. He, typically gets some really good position, and he has some good finishing. So I want to give him a shot coming back out. I think you'll still get a fair price on him. And again, I'm really just hoping that third start off the layoff after pairing up those buyer tops more or less, coming off of the break since last November. I'm hoping he takes a step forward here. So I want to give Me Governor a look on top. But again, She's So Spicy, far and away the horse to beat.
I really wanted to use this 14. That post is so bad. It's terrible. I mean, I don't know how she's supposed to win from out there.
It's not great. Again, I'm really hoping that they kind of space out early. I'm hoping that they go fast, and I'm hoping that gives her a chance to get over. She breaks really well. She typically breaks with she breaks sharp. So I'm just hoping that, hope is maybe not the best thing to have in a race like this, but I know you're going to get a decent price on Me Governor. I'm expecting, probably no worse than the 4th choice or no better.
I think she could be significantly higher just because of post 14. I mean, no one's going to play her.
So yeah, I'm really just hoping that she gets out there, and she might even be the one pressing She's So Spicy if there's some real intention. I don't know if she's that fast, but she can certainly be close if you look back to some of her prior races.
Well, and I disagree a little bit. I don't think there's very much speed at all in this race for a 14-horse turf sprint. It's the only horse that have speed are the same horses coming out of the Limestone. The only new horse that has any kind of speed is the 13, Lovely Emma, who's not even certain to run. He's entered at Aqueduct. I mean, you look into the form of all these other horses. There's really not that much speed other than what She's So Spicy has already faced and put away from last time. So maybe someone's just a lot more intent on going this time, or someone shows some unexpected speed. But I don't know. It was tough for me to get by the favorite in here. I'm going to try with the 4, who's going to be closer, I think, but we'll see. We'll see.
The horse I thought could go and press would be Dream Away for Wesley Ward. Obviously, his horses are known for kind of going to the front. Came out of the same race as She's So Spicy. I guess press, but I think maybe from the inside, maybe can show a little bit more intention as they get out of there. But we'll talk about the number 12, Savetta, Noah's pet, so to speak, that you like in 3rd.
Yeah, just watching her last couple races, I know we kind of tailed this horse a couple times, and she just looked like she was so loaded every time and coming around the turn, and then would just have nothing left in the tank. I feel like this cutback is kind of what she's needed. I don't know if she's this good. I don't know if she's going to get the right kind of trip, but I do know that I think she really, really needs this cutback. And if she does get the right kind of pace set up in here, I think she could be the one that's going to come running late. And I think she'll be a pretty decent price in this spot. So I do want to use her definitely underneath and throw her in as a deep backup on horizontals.
She should be flying late. You know that for sure. Yeah. She would round out my tries and whatnot if I played them because I do think she's going to be coming late. I just don't know if there's enough pace for this thing to melt down. But yeah, that last time in the Santa Isabel Island, I believe is the race. Irad had he looked so confident turning for home at the top of the stretch, gave her the shoulder taps, and she had nothing. Absolutely nothing. So maybe the cutback's going to really hit her between the eyes. Maybe that's going to be what really does it for her because she's fired at these sprint distances before. So I'm interested to see how she does. But she's going to have to kind of beat me on top. Again, I'll use her underneath, but one that I think certainly deserves a look. We'll go now to the number 8, a horse that I wanted to give a look to. Riley Mott, Florent Giroux, Resolute Racing for this one. Second time in the States is pretty much the main point I had. Ran very decent last time with Frankie Dettori riding. Again, sometimes they just kind of need one after they ship over. It takes a little bit out of them. Riley Mott, not really the type to have them primed and ready first off and firing away from a layoff like that. Second off, his numbers aren't ideal, but This runner showed a lot of promise. Didn't draw terribly. Should still save some ground. Has the ability to be close-ish. It's really just going to come down to, is She So Spicy going to get pressed on the lead, or is She So Spicy going to get that half? If she's up by half a length, it's over. She needs to be, looking another horse in the eye pretty much the entire way around there. So I don't know how you feel on that one, but I thought this one could pick up some pieces late.
With an 8-2?
No, with She's So Spicy, like how much of a lead that she'll need if she's just going to go around there.
I don't know if it matters. I mean, if there's 4 horses across the track, then she could be in trouble. Yeah. But she's dueled before. She's even sat off of a rival before and still run pretty well. So I think as long as she breaks, she's going to get a pretty good trip in this race.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's race number 10. I went 14-9-8. Jackson went 4-9-12. We'll move on now to the nightcap race number 11, open maiden special weight, going 6 furlongs. Picks are up on the screen. I went 10-8-5. Jackson went 2-10-11. Jackson, you're going to kick us off with the number 2, Dixie Devil.
Yep, get out race. Finally, a race I think that has a lot of speed. So I went with a closer that I think can pick him up late, and that's Dixie Devil. Drawn towards the inside, which I don't love, but start picking apart his form. He just has never had the right kind of setup in here. I mean, go back to the Churchill race last year, slow pace, pretty good field, couldn't do much. The race 3 back, going 2 turns, probably not what he wants to do. Then the next Turfway race, again, trying to close into a slow pace, couldn't quite do it. Last time, trying to close into a slow pace, and he actually ran okay. He finished second to Crudo's, I think one of those $1 million Rapoli horses is supposed to be pretty good. And so no shame in finishing second to him. He was well clear with the rest. There was a couple decent prospects in there. I think one was from the Shug barn, if I'm not mistaken. So that seemed like that was a pretty good performance. And maybe he's just a horse that's going in the right direction. And I do think he's going to finally get the setup he needs. I feel like there's a lot of speed in here. So hoping they go pretty quick and he can be the one that picks up the pieces late.
Yeah, certainly one I gave a look to. Has been chasing slow paces and closed into one last time going 7 furlongs. I mean, that opening quarter at Keeneland going 24 flat is, that's crawling. We'll typically see those in the 23s, 22s at Keeneland. So for them to be going 24, 47, and this horse still closed only to lose by 7, but Crudo was a runaway winner at that point. Crudo was up on the lead and then just drew off. So you really can't fault Dixie Devil for not being able to close into that. My top pick was the number 10, which is Velociraptor, likely going to be your morning line favorite, if I had to guess, but should be kind of the outside speed. I'm hoping, honestly, that this one kind of crosses and clears, if not just kind of sits off, but has shown some really nice ability, has had trouble being consistently running at the races, but really at the end of the day, just kind of took 2 months off here, comes in maybe off a bit of a brief freshening. I like the way this horse drew. Going to have to show some ability to maybe rate that speed a little bit more than he has in the past, but I thought this one deserved a look. Perfect Force came out next time to win. This is that horse finished. Sorry, Velociraptor finished 5th to Perfect Force last time out. Again, just one I wanted to give a shot to. It wasn't super creative, but one I thought made a lot of sense in this field. Next one we'll go to Jackson. Actually, do you have anything to add as you pick the 10 in second?
Yeah, I think you nailed it with the post. I mean, this is a horse that every single race has drawn towards the inside and had descent. He's had to go every single time just by how the race came up. He's finally drawn towards the outside. He's outside of all the other speed. I kind of expect him to rate just to see if he can keep him in the clear. Let him rate a little bit. Let him get untracked at his own pace, and maybe that'll be enough to get him to have a little bit more stamina late because he's kind of been struggling to finish out these races. So I think that could be key in here. Again, I agree. He'll probably be the favorite. So not super exciting, but he does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, right to this one's outside is Vix for Mario Gutierrez, a horse that you picked in third. I did not have the gumption to do so, but what did you like about this runner for trained by Greg Foley?
Yeah, it took a lot of money on debut for connections that don't typically race too well first time out, and he showed a lot of speed. I know it doesn't really look like it on the paper form, but he was pretty quick out of there. Just didn't quite get to lead in time, and then got shut out. Then had to check a little bit on the turn, and just never really ran again after that. But I do think sometimes when they show a lot of speed, that can indicate talent. And now he's got a much better post. Now he's going second time out for a barn that does really well with this type of move. I think there are a lot of things to like about this horse. I think it'll be a pretty decent price in here just because, that number didn't come back that strong. But I think there are some reasons to suggest he could improve off of that. And if he does, he could be dangerous in here because, I think this is an open company man special weight. For an open, yeah, let me double check. I didn't think this was the toughest.
It is open.
Yeah,
it's
this
open.
wasn't the toughest maiden special weight we're ever going to see at Churchill Downs, that's for sure.
It wasn't. Real quick shout out to Felipe for checking in a little bit late, but no worries on that. But thanks for the kudos there. Yeah, we certainly hope to be running racing.
My man.
There we go. So Vic certainly has a shot. This is not the toughest maiden special weight race that that we will see at Keeneland. You mentioned that. Keeping the Faith is a horse I want no part of. This runner by maximum security. He has not had the most precocious crop of 2 and 3 year olds. He has one winner from 53 starters. So this horse is probably going to take some money, owned by Gary and Mary West. Obviously, the bright pink we all know. Brad Cox, you don't really ignore that. Florent Giroux, one of the main riders, kind of takes the call, but I had no interest in this runner. Instead, I went to the number 5, which I got to do some quick counting, is Mr. Banderas.
Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah.
You got
it. Listen, it's late, man. Mr. Banderas, it's not late at all. No, so this Louisiana bred actually made the ticket because, again, not the toughest race. This runner was going quick last time out, going 7. I like the 7 furlong cut back to 6, especially for a horse like this who showed a lot of speed off the layoff. Second off for Bobby Medina, pretty efficient. Only 7 starters, so I don't want to look too much into that. Julian Leperoux is going to need to give a better ride than he gave to Positano Sunset, but I think he's capable of doing that. This one, second off the bench, showed a lot of improvement now as a 4-year-old. Most of this field is 3-year-olds. Jackson is also a big proponent of the 4-year-olds versus those 3-year-olds. He tends to go the 4-year-old route. Star Guitars have done very well on dirt, and they've certainly done well versus open company. So I thought this one deserved a look. Maybe the gelding is just going to kind of calm this one down. I don't know if maybe he's been acting a fool pre-race or maybe a little too revved up, but I think Mr. Banderas certainly deserves a look. I think that he's probably going to be up on the lead. I don't know that they're going to try and rate him. I'm just hoping that they don't duel and go too quick. But even so, they still kind of, he held on pretty well towards the end there, and they went fast early. They went 22 and 22.3, as you can see, 45 and change. So they went quick. I'm hoping the furlong cut back just kind of helps. And then second off the bench, obviously, is a major angle that I want. So Mr. Banderas is going to round out my top 3 there. All right. Yeah, Jackson. Real quick before we get on out of here, our bets of the day. Actually, one more time for race number 11. I went 10-8-5. Jackson went 2-10-11. And now, our best bets of the day. Jackson, I'll let you lead us off with race 8.
Yeah, best bet is going to be St. Armand's Key. Is my best bet of the day. Just feels like he's the best horse in the field. He's going really well right now. His last 2 numbers would be good enough to win, and he could very well prove in his 3rd start off the bench. So one that I really like from that angle. And he also projects to get a really good trip, just tucked in just behind the speed, get first jump on those deeper closers. So he's my best bet of the day. I'm hoping for 3-1. That race, honestly, I have no idea how they're going to bet it. It looks pretty tough. So 3-1 or higher to me is a very, very good price on him.
I like it. My bet starts with race number 9. I'm going to double the 5 Horizonte and that mile and 3/16 allowance race, who I think is going to be your heaviest favorite in the sequence. Into the number 14, Me Governor, that we talked about. Obviously drawn pretty wide, but I think you're going to get a decent price. Should get a good return. In terms of most likely winner on the card, I think the 5 Horizonte, at least to me, seems like the most likely winner on the card. I think St. Armand's Key and Corruption are pretty much going to you could flip a coin and either one of those could win because they're both in really good form right now. So I think just looking at this late pick 5 sequence, that's the most likely winner. Want to try and give a price in the second leg. Sorry, I'm losing it. And I was reading a comment from our man Felipe, so I'll throw that up real quick. Love the fact that y'all handicap without opening odds. Honestly, I feel I almost enjoy it more when I don't look at morning line odds. I don't know about you, but to me, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. I'm going to pick the horse that I think is the most likely winner, or the horse that at least is going to present some value. Certainly the morning line, I'll factor that in once I see it, because if I think a horse is going to be, good value, but I see is 3-1 in the morning line, maybe that changes my thoughts a little bit. But at the end of the day, certainly I got used to it out on the West Coast with some of the morning lines in the past. I just kind of would hide it on Formulator. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I actually like doing it before as well.
Felipe, I agree. He'll shoot me some looks during the show without a doubt.
I give him a few looks.
This guy's sassier than my girlfriend.
I don't get
Something to continue.
influence, because I'm using my own way. I'm looking at this race to create my own value in what I think each horse should be. So again, I think this horse could. I think 3-1 is going to be a good price. If you 6-5 in the morning line, well, then I'm not going to bet him, and I'm going to know right off the bat. Okay, that's a horse I'm not going to play. Whereas if he's 8-1, then okay, I'm definitely going to play this horse. I think he's 3-1. That's a great price, or vice versa. And of course, you still have to see what happens the day up when the odds open and look at the well pays and all that stuff. But I think it's definitely a great starting point. And again, I think I know I get very influenced by what the morning line odds can be.
I certainly can as well. It depends on what I'm looking at it for too. I know I'm not a big tournament guy, but if I'm playing in a tournament, it would mean a little more because at least then I have horses I can kind of key around versus if I'm making like a horizontal type bet, like it's not really going to matter that much as long as, I find who I want. But all that to say, I'm playing a double Horizonte into the number 14 Me Governor in the turf sprint.
I'm going to steal your bet too. I actually like that a lot. I'll probably have a good chunk of my money on the 5 to win, and then like the kill shot would be a 5-5 double because I do think that 5 horse in the following race is probably the most likely winner of the sequence and one I do view favorably.
There we go. That's going to wrap up the show. Jackson, it was fun to be back. We're going to be back tomorrow on the same channel with a different show. Big Hoof Energy is going to return. We're going to be talking late pick 5 Saturday at Backwaduct. That's a card I cannot wait to get into. That card looks awesome. It's loaded with talent. Obviously, all the big jockeys are there. And as you said, the meet didn't start till Pratt got in town. And Pratt is most certainly in town this weekend at Belmont at the Big A. So I'm excited to get out there. Obviously, good to be back on the screen with you. What's up?
And we have Matt. Matt's coming on, right?
Oh, we do have Matt Dinnerman. Yes, thank you. Great reminder because, again, my brain has been off the past couple of days. We have Matt Dinnerman joining us tomorrow, 4 p.m. for about the first 20 or so minutes. We're going to go over the Long Branch Stakes from opening day at Monmouth Park this Saturday. And then he's going to let us know what to look for during this upcoming meet at Monmouth Park as he will be calling all the races up there. So obviously excited to get our buddy Matt Dinnerman back on the screen to talk horses with us. It's always an enjoyable time getting to hear his thought process and getting into his brain a little bit. So that's what you have to look forward to tomorrow, along with me, Jackson, and Kaylee sharing the screen to go over the late pick 5 with pick 5 tickets tomorrow. Today we're just doing best bets just because that's kind of the way we wanted to go. So we'll see you tomorrow. Hope everybody has a good one, and thanks for watching.